Hello and welcome. I'm Ryan, and as you can see, I'm in for 2020, and this is round one for Celerity eSports. It's a league, and it's a Baku. I mean, the Scuderia Ferrari. And as you can see, this is qualifying. My first qualifying run wasn't too good. It didn't go too well. It was a 1:39.0, and yeah, that's about 1.5 seconds slower than I could possibly go. But I went into the wall into turn 3, so that's why it wasn't too good. So of course we're going to try again in P11, and this run needs to be a good one if we want to have a chance to win the race, and yeah, to have a good start of the season. So as always, the highest engine modes possible, going into turn 1, leaving a bit on the table at the entry there, but I just need a good lap. I have a guarantee improvement if I don't get wing damage, so we don't need to take that much of a risk to get up the places a bit. So at the end of the first sector, I'm about half a second up already on my previous best, which was actually good. So now heading into the castle section. This one is difficult in the fourth gear, but this went really smooth. Good exit. Now I'm 9/10 up, so this looks promising. I'm going into this corner. I brake a bit too early, got a little bit distracted by the slow McLaren there. Not his fault. He just went out of the way. He did it very well, but I still, I just got distracted. I need to work on that. Nothing he could do. He did nothing. So maybe he lost 2/10 there, but still I'm 1 second up. It's a 1:38.0, and I went from P11 to P8, and that's where I'm going to start. I'm 4.5 tenths behind P1. The complete top 8. So until me is within half a second, so I guess that shows that this is quite competitive. It's quite close, and Fruitful actually starts behind me. I was surprised because of that. I was surprised by that because in time trial he set a lap which was good for top 100 or something. So I don't think he was in a good form in qualifying, but luckily for us it benefits us. So onto the race then. Strategy is going to be a one stop, but there's a high chance there will be a safety car, so strategy will be
the rest of the grid is forming up.
Shuffled
and watch for the lights.
a little bit, I think, but we'll see. At the start, somehow the cars are ghosting, and I'm sorry for the how do I say it, quality of the race, by the way, because I had some lag in this race. I had done everything about it. At least I've tried, but sometimes my Wi-Fi at home doesn't work too well. So it's going to be a bit annoying to watch, as you can see, ghosting and stuff. Nothing I could do about it now. I got overtaken around the outside by Fruitful. He killed bring more momentum with him into the corner, so yeah, that's why I was a bit stuck at the inside. So that's down to P9. Now P10 as Crispy is down the went down the inside, but now I've got the inside. Try to squeeze him a little bit. He still tries to hang in there. It's just a bit surprising. Now going into this tight corner. He gives in, he backs off, and he gets overtaken by MK's second B. But he goes it in me, and yeah, that's sort of distracting me. Still totally my fault for going into the wall.
Go now.
And I have a feeling I threw this race away at this point, but we don't give up. It's lap 2 only, still chance of safety cars, 60 people. So yeah, there's a chance of 16 people crashing, including us. Now I went to the mediums because the hards I'm going to work with. Don't have the possibility of lasting the whole race. So it's 2-stop now, and yeah, let's try to push. Next stop is Rich Bolly in the Mercedes. He's in 13th place. He's on the hards, so we should be faster than him. But it's going to be too difficult to catch up to him for the pit window. But we try our best. Now some people saying fast laps, of course it's only the same lap. And yeah. After racing goes into the pit and he actually retires. It's good that he did that in the pits because then there's no safety car. I think there's a rule when you want to retire, you need to do that in the pits. Fortunately he left, leaves us as well, so that's not beneficial for the connection, but it is what it is. Now I'm in 13th place. Donatelli hit it. He's now 5.8 seconds in front of me, but nothing really happened, so yeah, we're skipping forward to lap 5. And safety car is deployed. There you go. So it's retired. There are now 12 people left.
Okay,
so
we
some
can take
guys hit it. So now I'm in P11. It's actually the Renault MK17B. It crashed into the cast section.
Check your MFD
as
for a
I
new strategy option.
didn't control the wheel spin. So I also got damaged. Now I also crashed in the cast section. Really clumsy.
Right, come in at the
But
end
yeah,
of the
he crashed in the cast section. He sort of was ghosting, but you couldn't see it, so I was going really slow through him. Luckily, yeah, he was ghosting me. That should be happening, of course. But unfortunately, I messed it up a bit. I was still going into the pits though, but it was about 4 seconds chasing the front wing. And that's not what you want, but I think if we didn't damage our wing, we would have still been behind Tommy. I'm not sure. And now I'm in P10 somehow. And yeah, safety cars coming in, so we're getting ready for the restart. And I've got plenty of fuel left, so holding it into Ridge Mix. And Crispy actually goes into me, into the back of me during this restart. I got a 5-second penalty, but as you could see, the penalty got removed, so I was worried about it because it is known as a bug in the game. It just gives you a penalty if something happens with you during the safety car. Yeah, this penalty system isn't too good. So restart went well, I guess. Nothing too special. Just staying behind Tommy, who's actually doing away now. I haven't got any pace in those hearts on the low high. But yeah, I was just very slow compared to other guys. Now Sam D is behind me, we're too crispy. And he's on the medium, so he's going to stop again for sure. But I still want to keep him behind, because I'm afraid I'm going to lose time behind him. And I don't want to lose time right now, because I really need to get into the DRS zone of Tommy in front of us. And I actually did it in lap 10, so 2 laps later or something. And yeah, I've got DRS, but I still need to defend from around here behind me a little bit. As Fruitful crashes, he spun sort of out of turn 1 and went into the wall quite massively. And it's actually quite shocking, because I didn't expect it to happen. He had great pace. And yeah, so that's a big surprise. We've now got 11 people left. It's a virtual safety car, so no full course yellow. Well, it actually is a full course yellow. It's it wasn't a safety car. And I didn't do too well with the delta. I lost about 1.5 seconds because I didn't make use of delta enough. So now Sam is right of my gearbox, and I've got no DRS from the Williams in front. So I'm going to let him through before the DRS zone. The detection zone is here, and then about 200-300 meters away to DRS DRS deployment zone, or what you call it. I actually used it, but I didn't. I decided to not overtake him so he could catch up to Luke and Nick. And yeah, hopefully I can use him as a tone, because he's on the mediums. He should be faster than the rest of the field. He locks up quite some times. Again in this corner, turn 3, turn 4, he locked up. Now this corner, locks up again, and then once again he locks up. But that isn't good for our pace, because if you want to have some good pace, you really don't need to lock up. You don't want to lock up. It's actually again a VSC. And by the way, it could also be the fact that I'm a bit laggy, got a bit of lag, that he locks up on my screen. But what I know is that he didn't catch up too quickly to guys in front. So as I said, PSC, now I need to stay close, because otherwise this race isn't going to be ending too well. So yeah, I just did it right this time with the delta, and the Renault Alpine Ute goes into pits. Also, Come and Jordy So that's into P6 for us, and yeah, we need to keep him behind, but they're quite some distance behind, actually. So we should be okay for now. Now I caught up to the back of Sandy again. I'm actually also already at back, but I started pushing a bit more, and I overtook him because I noticed that this wasn't hurrying up. Now it's P3, and I'm not planning to stop again because those tires will last the rest of the race. 12 laps to go, and the real gap behind us is, at the time was 12 seconds. Now I've skipped 1 lap forward, so it's now 10.5 seconds. We should be fine. And Donatomi goes out of the race. He crashed into the Kelso section just as MK70B. And I asked Jeff to stop on his lap, but that depended because if the delta doesn't go on for long enough, I'm going to lose more time into the pits. You see virtual safety car ending, and yes, if you see, this wasn't long enough to go into the pits, as I was going to lose a lot of positions. So I stayed out. Now the gap is 10 seconds. I've got about 10 laps to maintain the gap, or let's say maintain the position, because they're going to goes in really fast and those much fresher tires. And yeah, let's see how much they gain. First place isn't possible for us, that's for sure. Bowden is just cruising around, probably drinking a cup of coffee. You can just cruising home, so I'll just do my thing. I've also got plenty of fuel left, so I can put it into rich mix quite often. So only thing we need to do is preserve the tires and get the most out of them. Now the gap has already come down to 9.1 seconds. It's like 1 second per lap, so they're really closing in really quickly. And now if I cross the finish line, there are 9 laps to go, so if they gain exactly 1 second per lap, they will be right at the back of me at the finish line, or let's say at least at the last lap. But the thing is, at this track, on the last lap there's still a chance of taking someone in the main straight, because it's so long and the finish line is quite far away from where the last real corner is, and you've also got the others, so you really need to watch out. Now we move on to lap 25. Nothing really happened, I just maintained my pace, and I kept driving, setting lap times like 1:43.4 something. The tires are wearing off, but the car's getting lighter, so the gap sort of stays the same. The pace gap doesn't stay the same. As you can see, it's 1.6 seconds. Rowan is now behind me instead of Jordi. He overtook Jordi. and he already gained about a second in the first sector, so we really need to keep the pace up, otherwise we're going to get eaten up, and yeah, that will be quite unfortunate. And as you can see on the right bottom, the indicator is yellow now, so there's really some proof that the tires are quite worn off, and quite worn, but there's nothing more that we could do. I've got about 30% of overtake left, ERS. Gotta use some more. He's keeping behind, and yeah, he doesn't really go for it this lap yet. There's still one lap to go. Instead of 1:43.7, and yeah, he's really closing in. Now going out of this corner, I really need to get a good exit, but he was still going to get a better exit anyway, as he's just on much better tires. Gotta defend the left, aka the inside a little bit, just in case, otherwise we're going to be effed. And for now we're good, and the only thing we could do is drive and hope we can maintain second position. By the way, Bodin is now 15 seconds in front of me. That just shows how slow I was on those tires. It was about, let's say, 2.5 tenths a lap. I don't know. You can calculate it yourself. Now the gap is less than 3 tenths. I'm going to get eaten up. Anyway, I haven't got much ERS left. I thought about landing through before the straight for a sec, but I decided to just push and hope. Otherwise I was going to lose position to Jordi, and that's not what I want. So let's hope that he's closing in, I've got no ERS left. He has got the ERS as well. And yeah, that is P3. You can see it's P5 here, but the penalty got removed, so it's P3. Only by 30 thousandths of a second, so it was really close. I'm still happy with P3 though, after a crappy qualifying session and starting P8, and it was also really messed up start of the race and stuff, you know. So in the end, I'm quite happy with P3, and next race, keep our head down, and we're going to race at Sandford, and that's going to be an interesting race for sure. So until then, goodbye.